Hi e-tailers. This is going to be a quick little tutorial to show you how to format UPCs in Excel. Here's a little PO that I've opened, and I'm going to click the export button, and I'm going to just go ahead and export this. And you can see here that it exports as a CSV, comma separated list, and that's fine. We're going to go ahead and open that up. The thing about Excel is that it automatically formats your data in ways that you really don't always appreciate. For example, here, the UPCs, the first two, you can see that the leading zero is dropped. And the second two, you can see that it's in what we call scientific notation. Excel automatically formats any number that has 12 or more digits into scientific notation. Sometimes you can just open this up and that'll fix it, but in this case it's not happening. So in order to fix the scientific notation, it's really pretty easy. You just go over to the Data tab and then click Text to Columns, and then make sure it's on Delimited and click Next, and then Next, and then we're going to change it to Text, and then click Finish. And you're probably thinking, why didn't I just highlight it and then right click and then use Format Cells to change it to text? Well, that doesn't always work. So you can go ahead and try that if you want to, but if it doesn't work for you, this method, Text to Columns, will always work for you. You can also use that same method to change a text format over to a number if it's being stubborn and not working for you. There's a couple different ways that you can add the leading zero on here. UPCs always have to have 12 digits or more. They can have more, but not less. So we know for a fact that these two are missing the leading zeros because here's where we exported them. Which, if you only had two, you could just go in here and type it. But look what happens, it just goes away because this is not formatted as text. So you could, change all of this to text to columns using the same method I just showed you. And that'll work fine if you just have a couple, and then you'll be able to type in that leading zero, no problem. But let's say that I have a really long list and I don't want to go through and cross compare the list and check each one to see if there's a leading zero there. So I need a way to fix that quickly for a long list. So first I'm going to show you what not to do and why not to do it this way. So here's what some people have tried to do in the past, and it looks like a really handy dandy trick, but it doesn't work, and I'll show you why. Highlight your cells, right click, and then choose Format Cells. And then go to the Custom tab. And then here where it says type, you can type in 12 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then click OK. And see, it didn't work because these are formatted as text. Let's go ahead and turn these back to a numeric format. And we're just going to put general instead of text now, and they're all general. And now you can see that it's taking that leading zero and sticking it in there. So great, right? But look, it's really not there. It just looks like it's there. So the problem is, if you have this, well, they're looking all great right here, but then you go to import it and that leading zero is still missing. So this is not a good way to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and undo that. We'll go back to the text format. And then once again, we've got these oddball scientific notion. So let's just do text to column on all. Next, next, text, finish. All good, but now we're back to this. So how can we fix those without having the issue that we just discovered? So here's a really easy way I'm going to show you. Just left click in the column next to your UPC column, then right click and do insert. That'll give you a new column, and you can name this whatever you want. I like to put new UPC just to make sure that I don't forget which one is which. So what we need to type is equals to let it know that we're starting a formula, and then the word text because that's the function that we're going to use that's already built in. You can see this little fx means it's a function. So to use that function, we can double click on that, or you can actually type the opening parentheses, and now it wants the value and then the format we want the text to be in. The value is going to be the UPC that we're trying to fix. And so we're going to put a comma here because now we're going to tell it how we want the text formatted. Because we're using text, we have to use opening and closing quotation marks. So open quotation marks and then 12 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then closing quote marks and then closing parentheses. And now you can see that really well, and you can see it up here. And once we got that in there, then we can click enter. Now we have a little problem here because it is displaying my formula instead of displaying the result. And the reason is that we formatted this column to text. So now this column is automatically formatted to text. We can use the same trick as we did before. Highlight the column, click on text to column, make sure it says delimited, and then next, and then we want to make sure this says general and then finish. And voila, look, now we have our UPC that's formatted correctly with the 0 in front. And we can just go ahead and double click or drag down with the little corner plus icon, and you can copy it all the way down because it's only going to format the ones that are less than 12 digits. So the only problem we have now is that this is a formula and we can't import a formula into anywhere else. So we need to change it back to a regular number. So what you can do is you can highlight the cells and then right click and do copy, and then go where you're going to paste them and right click, and you see how you have these little symbols. It says paste, and this one says paste values. So we want to use the one that has the little 1, 2, 3 for pasting values only. And now you can see that all of our UPCs have been replaced with the correctly formatted UPC with all the leading zeros intact. Now that you're done with that, you can just simply delete this column and your UPCs are all fixed. Be sure to save it. So that's all there is to it. I know it sounds a little complicated at first, but you'll get the hang of it really quick and you'll find that it'll save you a lot of headaches down the road. So you might want to keep this handy until you've got it all memorized. Good luck.